Hi there, welcome to another edition of Bustanet. My name is Rashidi, and you're back here with me on the Torino Diaries. We're in our second season with Torino, and it's been quite an interesting period of time for us. Personally, I've been very busy. I've been traveling quite a fair bit, so my videos have been recorded and I've been putting them out on a scheduled basis. There's a lot of things on my plate, and I'm trying my best to keep the FM videos on track as well. And I do apologize if the schedule or some of the stuff that you've asked questions on, they haven't been answered, and you'd have to wait for like a few videos to find out the actual answer. I've already put out one video called the billion pound club, how to make a billion with a club. And what I plan to do in future videos is to devote like at least 5 minutes talking about things like a different topic in every video. So in today's video, I'm going to look at scouting. Before I think about clubs, is Torino and some of the other clubs in Serie A. They don't have a lot of scouts. If you look here, I've only got 6 scouts. I mean, I could go to my board here, and in terms of staff, and I go to staff, I could go and like get as many scouts as I want. But the downside of that is it's too early in the season for me to start whacking the scouts and hitting the markets, because we aren't financially super cool at the moment. My plan is to turn this club into a £1 billion club, and I want to do it within the first 10 seasons. So, what I'm doing is working on a strict wage budget. So, what I do in terms of scouting is I have my scouts, they're all on assignments. So, you can see that some of them are preparing for new assignments and some of them are already out on assignments. Like Gilles Cerulean, he's been scouting Italy looking for talent. And within my own scouting policies, I have shortlisted some of these players. So I'm only interested in players who are less than 21. And at the moment, all these players are out of my weight scale. So I'm not even going to bother with them. And we have his reports, and we have another report here from the Italy under 18s. On this, I might take a bit more interest on. So I have my filter set up and have acceleration, pace, and natural fitness, especially for the younger players. I like when a player comes in with like 4 to 9 or 8 to 12. I tend to ignore players with low natural fitness. I zoom in for players who are like 12 to 16, 11 to 15, or anything higher, especially if their upper attribute range is high. Like this guy's at 19, so I would send out a scout just to scout this guy out. And then has a good, if he has good attributes, more detailed attributes, then I will put in a bid. So when it comes to managing my scouts, I'm pretty selective on what I do. When I first started out in the first season, our scouting knowledge was only 10%, and that was really low. So what we've done is we've gone out and scouted more regions, and what I do then is with the assignments for my scouts, I tend to send them to places like Serbia. You see here Serbia, and I don't send them. I also look for hot prospects, and I look at Serbia, Slovenia, and some of the smaller European countries, because players tend to be cheaper there. I avoid the UK, I avoid Spain, I avoid places where the players are going to be expensive, because there's no real point. I mean, if you're going to get like 4 stars and 5 stars, those guys are going to cost a bomb. And it's really a waste of my resources to send players out. So, one of the most important things about scouting is being actually very judicious about the use of your scouts. You will find that over the course of a few seasons, you may even get away with playing like 7 scouts. I've had games where I've had 18 scouts, and trust me, after a while, I felt like the 18 scouts were just way too many. For me, the optimum is between 6 to 8, and then I can manage my scouting rotations. And right now, I have my scouts out on jobs, and I can create more new assignments. And the next assignment I'll probably create is once those scouts have finished, is I'll set up a hot prospect, and then I go to you can choose any position. I generally go for any position. And then I tell my chief scout, I'm not interested in anybody except if it's between 15 to 19 or even 15 to 18. I like to grab them young and then I will start developing them. So scouting range, and I set them up for a nation in Europe. And then I look at the Eastern European countries, and I always start with Slovenia, Serbia, Montenegro, the smaller countries, Moldova. I'll just go to all the smaller countries. Poland is now one of the other countries I want to look at. So I go for all the small leagues and try and pick players from there. And then if they come back, yeah, cool. And once the assignment is over, I send them to a new place. Like I've got Serbia being prepared, Italy, and I think my one of my hot prospects. The hot prospect will come out like that. You see, if I send a hot prospect out, you won't see which country he's going to be going to. Okay, so that's as much as my scouts are concerned. So now I'm going to go back to the game at hand. In our first game of the season, we beat Cesena, who are a newly promoted side to the Serie A. We beat them 2-0 away from home, and we actually used my Leicester system that I created. It was okay. I mean, considering that my team isn't exactly built for the system that Leicester used, I still think that we did a pretty fine job because I was looking for getting as many shots on target as possible. That was my goal in that system. So here we have already set it up, and one thing I find in the Leicester system is this position is really important. Pacelli's position is the one that I need a really good player for, and I need Bruno Perez to be able to go up the flanks while Puccia really cuts inside. And this doesn't really happen with this team, but it seems to happen with Leicester quite a lot. So here we go. I'm gonna have my next match of the season. We'll be playing Atalanta. As you can see, my familiarity is still being accomplished, and we have the same. I'm not going to change my team around. I'm going to keep the same lineup. It's the start of the season. I don't like changing too many players at the start of the season. I like to get as many players into the system as quickly as I can. At the moment here, you can see Pontus Janssen. He's going to be brought back into the side. Got some players who have made it. I promoted some younger players to the side. I have one player here, Juan Sanchez Mino, who was on loan. He's come back. He was also signed by Director of Football like 2 seasons ago, I think. We also brought in this guy called Efreo Finnbogason, and I hope he does something. He hasn't so far. He's not scored any goals. The top scorers for me seems to be Fabio Quagliarelli, and he came off the bench to score 2 goals against Cesena in the first game. So here we go. Next game. I still favor Belotti ahead of Quagliarella. Okay, so Atalanta are lining up in Defiant. Exactly the same setup I have in Defiant. So yeah, this is going to be fun. Somehow or another, whenever you get your own tactic being thrown back at you, it can be quite annoying, can't it? I think I need to do something about this. This is unflexible, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to be playing away from home. I'm playing at home, so I'll probably switch up to attacking for this game. And I will play the offside trap and tell my players to stay on feet. And we will look for the overlap and have mixed crosses. I'll explain these as we play the game. Why have I chosen mixed crosses? I want to have some variety in the way my crosses are being delivered. When you have whip crosses, it's great if your players are playing the defiant system because then you're getting behind the defensive line. I'm not playing players behind the defensive line, so in this case, I want mixed crosses. Then there'll be some variety with the crosses as well. Because I'm not playing a system that is built for speed to get behind the D line. If it's built for speed, then I will do something different. Things I look for at the start of a game is this 6.76 versus 6.82. Not that fantastic, so I start looking for players to see who's below the average. Here's Marco Benassi, not very high, but so far we look like we're doing okay. Avila inside, Gets it to Baselli, bounces, Finn Bogason is offside. Not bad. The boys are putting in the pressure. Good free kick. De Avila. Oh, beautiful. Okay, Prima. That's a youngster who's taken over from Fonacier. Fonacier was my player last season who was completely a shocker. Oh, two-legged challenge. Jasmine Kritik has been called over. Could this be a yellow or a straight red? It's a straight red. FM16 really punishes the two-legged challenge, doesn't it? Okay, what can we do when I've got a player? I'm playing a man advantage, so I'll just go down to control and soak up the pressure for a while. I want to see what happens. I want to see if the AI plays a bit differently. I want to see if there's slight changes. And if I'm already a man up and I've got a player or like this 6.4, then I start asking really serious questions like what the heck is going on? So first things first, you stoke the fire. Second thing, start the second half. Now I'm going to be looking at Benassi really carefully. Pucciarelli cannot control the ball, so here I am going to start making some changes. If Pucciarelli still cannot get his act on, okay, that's it. Go to advanced tactics. Pause for a course. Okay, why have I done that? Benassi's ratings just dropped to 6.3. When I'm a man up and somebody's gone 6.3, I'm gonna take him off. I won't wait. So the first person I look for is another tackler. So this guy comes in. Baselli is playing okay and on the right. So we don't change anything apart from that. Confirm the sub and let's go. You can see that they've gone into a complete defensive system right now. So we're gonna attack a lot more. And I'm gonna go wider. Up the tempo and go wide. Balance will be fine. The width. Atalanta are doing a really good job of defending right now. But we need to get a breakthrough. Sanchez Mino finds Finn Bogason, who plays in Pucciarelli, who is okay. Sanchez Mino, Finn Bogason out wide. What can he do? Baselli out to Danilo Avila. Danilo Avila can't find a player inside the box, but Sanchez Mino is there and scores a blinder. Ooh. We needed a moment of magic. What a goal. Okay, we can now drop back to control. The initial pressure, I've taken a goal lead. I'm a very conservative player this season with FM. I want to win and I want to make sure that I make a lot of money doing it. So we are a goal up. We may not have the best possession in the world, but I definitely do not want to take a chance of dropping 3 points. Baselli has a chance of play it out wide again to Sanchez Mino, scorer of the first goal, drops in a corner. Belotti, hits the crossbar. Avila, I like him. This season is looking like a better player than he did in the first season. Ghazi 6.6. Why is Ghazi 6.6? Why is the same player in the same role not performing so well? That's another question I always ask myself. If I'm playing well and I'm winning, why is the same position generating a low average rating? If that happens for 3 games in a row, there's something wrong with the tactic. Okay, so off we go. We've won our next game. We weren't good enough, that's for sure. So, okay, my scout came back and the youngster that I started scouting, my first report is in. Now, I need to get the scout to do a few more reports before I find out more about this player. So far, the range of attributes is still fairly wide, so we will continue waiting for more of these reports to come through before I decide on whether the player is worth parting money for. I have this youngster in my club called Vittorio Parigini. Now, Parigini his attributes are really improving with the training that we are doing in the club. The question right now is, at his age, should I loan him out or should I keep him? He is a young player. He's only 20 years old. However, when it comes to loaning a player out, I want to make sure two things happen. First, he has to be playing for a side in the Serie A. Frosinone came very close to relegation. I don't know if they're still in the Serie A, so that's the first thing I do. Check. Frosinone, okay. They need they are they are in the Serie A. The second thing I look for is his squad status. They want him to be a key player. So, yep, that's it. Okay, if he's gonna get a chance to play in a as a key player, then I want him to go on loan because he's not gonna get any playtime with us at the moment because we're rich on strikers. So I will accept an offer for him, and he would benefit from first team football. So he's gone on loan. So that's one of the things that you want to do with your players. If you find that you have a really good player, there's going to be a time when you draw the line. Okay, either you train him in the club because you know he can improve in the club, and if you get a really good offer to play him as a key player in a team that is on in a comparable position as you are, maybe they're playing the same league or they could be playing in the same tier, in the same kind of league, in the same level, in a different country, then yeah, send him on loan. Don't keep him in your club doing nothing because right now at that age, at 20, they need to be playing football. Our Champions League Group A looks pretty interesting. We've got Atletico Bilbao, we've got Monaco, FC Red Bull Salzburg, and of course, little old Torino. And we are gonna have it's gonna be quite fun because it's our first Champions League. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Torino Diaries. This show was slightly different. We'll start focusing on different things at the start of the show. This time we did scouting. Maybe next time I'll do something else like transfer policies. But I'll try and weave in things like player development and training and other stuff related to making your club into a $1 billion club in the show in the future. And if you can see the screen right now, I have a 4-5-1 setting up for my Champions League matches. I'm gonna probably use this or probably use the Leicester replication. I don't know. It all depends on the system, what my mood is like. As you can see, the Benazzi had to be subbed out, right? 6.3, 6.4, he wasn't doing that fantastically. But if you looked at the Leicester games that I have this on, this role was Drinkwater's role, and he did pretty well. And Kante did really well. So, player or system? You tell me. So, this is basically it. If you have any other questions, please drop me a note. I'm sorry if I got these questions. I had to answer them a bit later than normal, but I've been away for the last few days and I'm trying to come back to some kind of a regular schedule for my shows, and that's not easy considering my current lifestyle. And I hope you bear with me while I sort things out. If you have any other questions, drop me a note. I'll try and answer them. I'll do my best to get them into the show as quickly as I can. For now, I'm gonna leave you guys here with the thought that what system am I gonna use for my next match? The next match is gonna be against Lazio, followed by Atletico, and then we have Sampdoria, Perugia, and then we got Inter Milan, the revenge, the club that is not happy with us. Well, guys, I'll catch you guys again soon. Very soon. Bye bye.